In this video, we are going to see about Routh-Hurwitz criteria for stability analysis of a given system. Actually, for stability analysis, all the coefficients of polynomial should be positive. Means, otherwise, if it is not positive, we can simply say it is an unstable system. For stable system, all coefficient of polynomial equation is positive. Then next, if some of the coefficients are also 0 or negative, it can be concluded that the system is not stable. So in the given polynomial equation, if sum of its coefficient 0 or negative, we can simply say it is not stable. So we can use Routh-Hurwitz criteria for analyzing stability. For example, if the characteristic equation is like this: s power n its coefficient, s power n minus 1 its coefficient, s power n minus 2 its coefficient, then s its coefficient, finally s power 0 or constant term. So here alt a naught greater than or equal to 0. So now in this, so this is the characteristic equation. According to the Routh criterion concept, first we have to consider the maximum power of s. So here maximum power of s is n. Suppose if it is odd number, so we have to select the odd number of s and its coefficient. So if it is even number, so we have to select the even number of s power and its coefficient. For example, here odd number, so odd number means, so s power n, if it is odd number, so we have to select this next odd number, then next odd number's coefficient, then next. So likewise we have to select, so this we can name it as a0, a2, a4, a6, a8. So this we can say for even number, because 0, 2, 4, 6, 8. Then next, so if it is even number, definitely next will be odd number. Therefore, so we have to select that next s power. Then, so we have to take the even number of s power. Then we have to write its coefficients. So this is even this is odd number. Its coefficient is a1. Next odd number is, it may be here. Its coefficient is a3. So finally, s coefficient, s is also odd number because its power is 1. So 1 also odd number, it means we can take its coefficient a power n minus 1, that is a9. So next, similarly, so we have to select the, after writing first s maximum s power, then next s power, so we have to use formula, then we have to calculate the forthcoming s power terms. Suppose this is s minus 1, s minus 2, s minus 3 up to s power 0. So we have to proceed this. Actually, so this and all for our convenience we have named. All the elements in the first column of the Routh array can be positive. So if this is the first column, if first column of all the elements are positive, we can simply say it is a stable system. Suppose if the system is unstable, the number of sign changes in the elements corresponding to the roots in the right half of S plane we see. So here, suppose this is positive, positive. Suppose if this is negative, means there is a positive to negative. Again, here positive means negative to positive. We can say here one sign change, here one more sign change. Therefore, so we can, there are two sign changes. Two sign changes occur in the first column of a given Routh criterion. So we can simply say there are two roots which are lying on the right half of the S plane. So it is a unstable system, and remaining roots are in the lying on the left half of S plane. For example, if it is s power 6, so we can say finally we will be having 6 number of roots. Suppose all are positive, means we can say all 6 roots are lying on the left half of S plane. We see from this, we know from the characteristic equation we can write s power, maximum s power, and next term we can simply write its coefficient. But while calculating next consecutive s power terms, so we have to use one formula. So this is the formula. Suppose the maximum power is x0, maximum power and its coefficient, for example x0, x1, x2, x3, x4, x5. Next its coefficient. Suppose if it is odd number, here we have to select even number. So its coefficient from the characteristic equation, as I told in the previous slide, we can write. After that, the next, for example, in this, after this, for next s power, suppose if it is s power n, this s power n minus x, this is s power n minus x minus 1, this is s power n minus x minus 2. It means if it is s power 6, this is s power 5, we will write from the characteristic equation. After, for calculating s power 4, so we have to use this formula. To calculate this z0, so we have to take z0. So in front of this minus 1 into, next it's, so we have to take this equation. So we have to take these 4 terms and we have to write it in the matrix. Then divided by this value y0. So we can say x0 y1 minus y0 x1. So if we multiply this minus 1 here, this minus will become plus, this plus will become minus. Therefore, so we can write like this. So next, so z0 is over. Next we have to take z1. So while taking z1, so we have to skip this row, then we have to take this column and this column as a matrix. We see z1 x0 y0 x2 y2 divided by the same y0. So we have to use the same formula. Suppose if you want to find z3, so we have to skip this, then we have to take x0 y0, then x3 y3, we have to form a matrix with respect to y0. So this, it will be in denominator. So we have to use the same formula. We will calculate z3 for next, so z2 for next z3, we have to skip this, we have to consider these two, then we have to use the same formula. For next to calculate z4, so we have to skip this, we have to take first column and last column, then we can calculate z4 by using the same formula. So next, after this, suppose s power n minus x minus 3, so we have to use the same procedure, but we have to take this row and this row, we have to repeat the same procedure. So first we have to take this 4, then we have to calculate the first, then we have to skip this, we have to take this one, and we have to take this one. By using first column and third column, we can form a matrix, then we can calculate this value. Similarly, we have to follow until z becomes 0. So after completing this procedure, so we have to write like this. So from this we can say there are 3 cases. So while applying, we see, while applying this formula depends upon the values, so we can have 3 categorization. First one is normal row array. It means non-zero elements of row array. The next one is a row of all zeros. Third one is first element of a row is 0, but some or other elements are not 0. So while using this procedure to calculate the next s power terms, so we have to use this concept. So while doing, there are 3 cases may come. First case, normal row array. It means all non-zero elements of row array. Here we see, in this procedure there is no 0. That is the first case. Second case, a row of all 0. Suppose if we take this row, if all of this value are 0 means for that we have to use some procedure. Suppose third case, first element of a row. Suppose if we take this row, its first element alone 0 means we have to use some other procedure. That is the third case. So first case, normal row array. So in the normal row array, so we have to use the same formula and we have to construct like this. So after completing up to s0, so if no sign changes, all the roots are lying on the left half of S plane, then the system is stable. So we have to take the first column. So in this no sign changes means, so we can say it is a stable. So if there is a sign changes, then the system is unstable. As I already told, the number of sign changes equal to number of roots in the right hand side of the S plane. Remaining roots are on the left hand side of the S plane. So this is the case 1. Next we will see about the case 2. In the second case, suppose if a row of all zeros, we see in this, while calculating, if all the entire row is 0 means what we have to do, we have to take the auxiliary polynomial. So we have to take this step. So the corresponding, so while calculating, if this comes as 0, so we have to take previous as polynomial equation, auxiliary polynomial. What is its power? Suppose s power 4 means, so we have to form like s power 4 plus s power 3 plus s power 2 plus s power 1 plus constant term. So likewise we have to form a auxiliary polynomial. Then we have to differentiate the same with respect to s. We have to find the dA of s divided by ds. Then its coefficient we have to consider. Instead of this zeros, its coefficient we have to write here. Then we have to do the same procedure to calculate. So then continue as usual in the case 1. So if sign changes occurs in the system, it is unstable. So for that, sign change is equal to number of time sign change is equal to number of roots lie on the right half of S plane. Next, the roots on imaginary axis can be calculated from auxiliary equations. So whenever all rows are 0, that case comes, we can say definitely it will be having imaginary parts. So by taking the auxiliary equation A of s, so we have to equate to 0 if we find the roots, that roots are imaginary, lying on the imaginary axis. Next, if no sign changes occur, if it is sign changes now, we can say it is a unstable. If it is no sign changes, we can say it is limitedly or marginally stable. Next, roots are lying on the imaginary axis and remaining roots are lying on the left of the S plane. For example, in this, suppose if 0 comes, means we have to take this as auxiliary equation. Then we have to differentiate this with respect to s. So its coefficient we have to write here. Then we have to use the same procedure like case 1. So after completing until s power 0, suppose if we take the first column, if no sign changes means we can say it is a limitedly or marginally stable. So why we are saying limitedly or marginally stable? Because in a row all are 0. Therefore, what is its s power? That much number of roots are lying on the imaginary axis. So we have to take the auxiliary equation. If we find the roots for the auxiliary equation, that roots are lying on the imaginary axis. So remaining roots are lying on the left hand side of the S plane. Suppose if there is a sign changes occur in the first column of this criteria, so how many times sign changes, that many number of roots are lying on the right hand side of S plane. So we can say it is a unstable system. So next, case 3. So in case 3, first element of a row is 0, but some or other elements are not 0. We see from this, suppose if this is 0, remaining or some value, means what we have to do? So instead of this 0, we have to take eta. So therefore put eta, and we have to use the procedure like case 1 and case 2. Suppose if it is like case, further if it proceeds like case 1, means we can say no sign changes, no row with all zeros, then the roots are lying on the left half of S plane and the system is stable. So after putting eta equal to 0, so we have to calculate the values by using case 1. After completing the case 1, if in the first column all there is no sign changes, means we can say it is a stable system. Suppose sign changes occur, means we can say it is unstable. So we know how many number of sign changes occurs, that many number of roots are lying on the right half of the S plane. So therefore it is a unstable system. Then suppose if there is a row of all zeros, after we see now there is only one element in a row contains 0, we have to put eta. So after completing next steps, suppose further if all rows contains 0 means, so for this what we have to do? So we have to take this entire characteristic equation. Then we have to take entire characteristic equation. Then we have to take its previous as auxiliary equation. So we have to divide this characteristic equation by this auxiliary equation. So what will be the quotient that roots are lying on the left half of the S-plane? If there is a row, all zeros after thing, there is a possibility of roots on imaginary axis. So determine the auxiliary polynomial dividing the characteristic equation by auxiliary polynomial to eliminate imaginary roots. So actually, as I told, after complete, suppose if one element in a row contains 0, further after completing the procedure, further in the next step, if all row value are 0 means, so we have to take its previous auxiliary polynomial equation. So we have to divide that. So we have to take the characteristic equation, then we have to divide the auxiliary polynomial equation to eliminate the imaginary roots. So we will get the quotient. That quotient is nothing but the roots which are lying on the left hand side of the S-plane.